Hello guys, welcome back. This is another drill, and in today's drill I will show you guys correlated markets and what they are and how I would use them to, of course, profit and win trades. So first of all, correlated markets are markets that move in sync, which means the same factors that would move the ES move the Nasdaq as well, because they are positively correlated, and we can use it to our advantage to, for example, exploit some trades in the market. For example, if we can see Nasdaq, ES and YM move up, and we can see maybe that RTY is lagging behind or is not moving up, we can go long on the RTY on the premise that the three ones that already moved will move up even more, and then the laggard one will move up as well with these three because it's lagging behind and it's most likely to move up again. So we can use that to our advantage to just scalp the markets very quickly and, to just take profits as well. So I'll just show you guys how I'd use it real quick. You can see this line on the DOMs. You can see this white line, and when we reset the DOM, when we, center it all, we can see that if three assets move above the line and one asset is below that white line, we can go long on that one asset that is lagging behind. So we can see that no asset is right now above. We can see the Nasdaq is above, but we can see all three behind, and we can see how quickly Nasdaq dropped down just because it was above the line while all these three were below. So you can see how there is always something to trade with these correlated markets, but you have to be very quick with profits and losses. You have to take profits and cut losses quickly. Here on the left, we can see the meters, and we can easily distinguish if the trade will go in our favor or not. So we can reset the meters. And you can see if we, for example, go short now, we can see that there is more blue than there is red, and that short might not be a good short, or it might not be a good time to short, because it's easier to read this than to read the actual orders, because you can't really, it's not humanly possible to read all four DOMs at the same time, And right here I have the ES contracts, and I just can see here any big contracts that come in on the ES, so it's easier to read as well. So I'm now going to reset the meters. I'm going to recenter everything, and I'm just going to wait for one asset to just get out of the sync, and I'm just going to go short or long. Depends how the other assets move. So let's see if we can exploit something. We can see all four assets are moving up now, so there's no reason for us to go short or long. We can see that ES was a bit lagging behind. Now we can see the YM is up above all the previous three, so we can maybe go short on the YM because the other three haven't really moved up. And we're going to center the charts, the DOMs, and let's see if we can exploit some market movement. Right now they're all in sync. And you have to keep in mind that Nasdaq moves much more. It covers much more ground than the ES and the YM and the RTY. So if you see, for example, a 6 or 10 tick move on the Nasdaq, then you will probably just expect a 2-3 tick move on the ES. So you have to be careful to not get shaken out of the trade, because Nasdaq moves pretty quickly, We can see the Nasdaq is pretty below the line. Okay, now that's a quick drop. Let's center everything again. Let's reset the meters to see where we are. We can see it's still dropping. That's a nice push up. You can see how Nasdaq is above the line much more than these three. So we can go short here to trade towards this line. We're going to expect Nasdaq to drop very shortly. We can see there is a bit more red here, but Nasdaq is actually quite strong right now. I can see the YM is pretty below the line a lot. There's the drop, nice, that's profit, good. So now when you take the trade and you profit, you're gonna want to reset the meters again and just restart these meters as well, so you can get the feel for the market again. So the market's moving pretty fast now. So yeah, it's 4 o'clock, so It's a new hour candle, so it likes to get pretty hectic right now. So I'm gonna wait for the market to calm down a bit. I'm going to reset the meters again, or the DOMs, and we're gonna reset the meters as well. You can see Nasdaq's dropping pretty fast, pretty quickly. So everything's bleeding across the board. You can see just you can just see how fast Nasdaq moves compared to the other three assets. Which is why I like to trade the Nasdaq most when I use the correlated markets, because it moves the best. You can just quickly get in, get out, and you can profit pretty nicely. I mean, of course, you can lose as well, just as much. But I like to be in the trades for a very short amount of time, and on Nasdaq I can just take those quick profits and just run. You can see now everything's moving up. You can see how Nasdaq set line, but we can see RTY and YM at above the lines. So we can maybe go long on Nasdaq pretty shortly. Let's go long. There's the push. Can they hold? Come on. ES needs to be above the line. There we go, there's the push. I'm gonna take the profits. There we go, nice. So now we're gonna reset the meters again, or the DOMs. There we go. Everything is above the line again, so there is no trade for us to take. We can see how much buying there is on the ES compared to the selling, which is very good for the longs. We can go long again on the Nasdaq because we can see that Nasdaq is below the line and all three other assets are above the line. So we're gonna go long now. We're in profits, very good. We can see still some buying here. We can see there's more blue than red, which is gonna tell me to stay in the trade on Nasdaq. That's nice profits, 250, 200 on the profits, very good. I can see S&P is still moving, so there's no reason for me to get out of the trade. Okay, it's dropping a bit now. There's the rise, good. But I can't really see any more buying on the S, so it might be a good time to exit the trade. It's still going up, very nice, 400 on the profits. So I'm gonna lock in the profits right now at 300. Ooh, that's a very fast move down, very fast move up. We can see that the YM came back to the lines, which tells me that markets will probably start to drop very soon. Yeah, I'm gonna take the profits now. Very nice trade. So right now we're gonna reset the meters again. Reset the charts, the DOMs, sorry, and the meters. So let's see. We can see on the Nasdaq's down, we are at the point of control. We can see some buying on the ES. We can see more blue than red, which tells me we might want to go long now. But we can see on the RTY there is more selling. But on the Nasdaq and AS there is more buying. There's the move to the upside, very nice. We're at the 19,500, which is a pretty significant zone for those assets. Can't really see any buying here. I can see 51, but it's not really moving up. Let's reset the meters again. So when you look at the charts and you can't really find the trade, and you've been, looking for a trade for more than 2 minutes, I recommend you guys to reset the meters again and the DOMs to recenter them all, so you can get a feel for the market again. You can see how it's below the line, so we can go long now, because we missed the move. It's okay. So yeah, we have missed a very nice long here. So you saw how Nasdaq was below the line and every other asset was above it, but I pretty much missed the move, but it's okay. it's back to the line again, so we can go long again. So let's not miss this move. Come on, push up. There's the move. 15 on the buy side, good. I can see some buy here. There we go. Okay, we're gonna take one more trade. We're gonna, of course, reset the meters, reset the DOMs, recenter. So let's see. We're gonna take one more trade. Everything's at the line, so no trades to be taken. That's a pretty nice drop on the Nasdaq, but we can see it quickly came back up again. So we can see ES is lagging behind, so we can go long on the ES. You can see the Nasdaq is above the line a lot, so we can see everything is above the line except the ES, and there we go. ES takes we take the profit on the ES as well, because you saw every other DOM was above the line except the ES, and I just went long below the line, and we got into profits when it got to the line. So yeah, guys, I mean that's how I trade the correlated markets. I'm sorry if it was hard for you to understand what I'm saying, but I'm trying to get better at talking fast. So yeah, guys, hope you learned something. I usually don't trade correlated markets that much, so you know I might not read the markets as well as someone who trades it all the time, but you know I'm trying my best. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.